going to see about ls commands, and we will see the general commands that will help us in listing the system information.
Okay.
Then apart from that, we will be discussing something about path. We will be discussing something about wild characters today. Hmm?
Okay.
So fine. So first thing, before we start listing ls command, how it is going to work. Let's see. So let me create some directories here. Okay, and I'm just so you see we are going to discuss about ls commands. So whenever I talk about ls command, using ls command, okay, we can list the files and directories names, right? So right now I logged in as a user here, and when I say ls, you will see it is going to give you the list of files and directories that is available on the machine, okay, on the current directory, right? But you know, when we talk about ls, it is having so many options. We are going to discuss about all these flags or options. I'm going to run ls-a. You know what is the purpose of ls-a? It is going to give you the list of hidden files and hidden directories. And you should remember one thing, in the front of the name, that may be a file or a directory, if you have a dot, that is nothing but hidden. It is nothing but hidden. Okay, now I will just try to give you the information when I say ls hyphen capital B. So what is the difference between ls and ls hyphen capital B? So when I say ls, it is going to give you a list of files and directories. Okay, and when I say ls hyphen capital B, it is going to give you the list of files and directories excluding what?
Backup from.
Excluding the backup.
And one more thing,
Okay,
these
it is,
double dotted files.
there is double dotted file. There
Uh,
is it is double dot is nothing but parent. Dot is nothing but present.
okay.
Okay, so this is the things. So this is the way how it is going to
Okay.
now. So every directory will contain this dot and double dot. Okay, getting it. You can go to the current and you can go to the parent. So you can see the difference between ls and ls hyphen capital B. ls will give you all the files and directories names, including backup, including link, including full configuration permissions. But when I say ls hyphen capital B, it lists everything but excluding the backup. So it never gives the backup files or directories information here. Okay, and now I'm going to run ls-d. D is nothing but it is going to give you dot. Dot is nothing but current directory, but we are not going to see the current directory. We have to give the directory name to this the directory. Understand? So this is information how to we list the directory information. Now, apart from ls-ld, I'm going to use ls-cap f, capital F. What F is going to use now? So see, basically this is a Linux. By seeing some colors, you can recognize that it is a file, it is a directory, it is a full permission file, it is a link file, it's a backup file. You can identify like this. Okay, so really when you work with Unix, so you will not have this color coding there. Then when you use ls-capital F command, so after the name it is going to give you some symbols. You can see after the name it is giving slash, that means it is a directory. After the name it is giving star, that is nothing but it is a full permission. Okay, after the name it is giving till is nothing but backup. After the name it is giving @ that is nothing but it is a link file or link directory. Understand? So this is the way how it is going to work. So hyphen capital X will play a major role. It's very helpful command to list the information. Okay, and after F, ls hyphen I. So I is going to give you the list of inodes numbers for every file and directory. And you know what is the purpose of inode? When you are creating a file or directory, it creates a unique number, and that unique number is nothing but inode number. And you know what is the information stored inside the inode number? The inode number contains information. Okay, so information such as what we say, the meta information of the file or directory. So when I say the meta information of a file or directory, what is that? How do we list that? There is a command called stat. I'm just giving you information. Stat followed by the file name. It is a directory name. It is giving the meta. This is the statistics of inode. So you can see the name, you can see the size, you can see the blocks, you can see the IO blocks, you can see the regular type, file, and this is all the information. Right? This is the information. Okay. So ls-i is going to give you the inode number for the file or directory. Okay, and stat is a command to list the inode statistics. Okay, so and ls-el, it is going to give you a long listing with 9 field output. Long listing with 9 field output. So what is the information stored here? The long 9 field output means the first one is something called permission, second one is nothing but link count, third one is nothing but owner and group, fourth one is group, and fifth one is nothing but size, sixth one is nothing but month, and the seventh one is nothing but month, eighth one is nothing but time, and ninth one is nothing but name. Okay, so this is the information how it is going to.
So you said
Okay.
second block is links. What are the links?
Link count. Okay, so always when I talk about link count for a file, it gives you information as 1, and link count for a directory, it will be 2. Understand?
Okay,
Getting it?
one.
So the link count is nothing but shortcut
Yeah, what
in a creating some. I didn't get you.
three with all permissions or what?
What is that? All permissions 3. I didn't get you.
For one of the file we got link count as 3.
Is it file?
It's a directory.
It's a directory. So why you are getting a link count as a directory for 3? Why you are getting a link count as a 3 for a directory? Because inside this particular directory we have some more directories. That's the reason. You see Java is there. That's the reason.
Okay, so it's
Getting it?
yeah.
So you have a child directories. Even that is also counted there.
Okay.
If you get only 2, that means it is only plain directory. If you have more than 2, it is nothing but inside this particular directory you have some more directories.
Okay.
Okay, getting that? This is information. So this is when I run ls-l command, it is going to give you 9 field output. So these 9 fields are very, very important. Okay, so then afterwards ls-lh, h is nothing but human readable. Human readable. So what do you mean by human readable? Human readable is nothing but it is going to give you a size as 4K.
Bytes and yeah.
This is the information. Done. Okay, so this is the way how it is going to work. Okay, then apart from this ls-l, h we have seen. Okay, so m is going to give you these things. It is going to give you files and directories by putting a comma. Okay, when I say m, it is going to give you the long listing with 9 field output, but instead of giving username and group name, it is giving user ID and the group ID. Do you see that? Instead of giving username and group name, it is giving user ID and a group ID. Okay, so this is information how it is going to work.
So one more thing, this you just created one file, Aura file 100 file.
Uh, mm,
So what is that exactly?
that is a link shortcut. That's a link shortcut. For example, in Windows, you have some file or directory in some different location. And every time I have to go to that location and I have to access.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay, so instead of going to that location, because I can't remember all that path, right? So what I will do is I'm going to create a shortcut onto the desktop. Okay, so when I create a shortcut on the desktop, so being on the desktop, you can access that file, you can access that directory.
Okay.
Getting it now. This is how it is going to go. Hmm? Clear? Understood, right? So this is the thing. So now, so you have understood this. So ls-n, it is going to give you long listing with 9 field output, but instead of giving username and group name, it will give user ID and group ID. Understand? And when I say ls-, what O is going to do? It is going to give you list of files and directories with long listing with 8 field output. Long listing with 8 field output. Okay. So when I say 8 field output, what does it mean?
Only
When
one.
I say 8, no. Yes, it is going to give you owner information, but not the group.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Okay. So this is the thing, how it is going to happen. That means excluding the group information, it is going to give you. Okay, when I say capital Q, it is going to give you files and directories by putting the double quote. Okay, ls-small r, it is going to give you the files and directories in reverse order, alphabetically reverse. Understand? And ls-capital R, recursively as the directory order. Recursively as the directory order. So what do you mean by directory order? For example, I will tell you. Okay, Oracle. So this is something called directory order. What it is giving, Ora app 1 is having Java, Java is having this thing, Oracle is having Sun, Sun is having Red Hat, Red Hat is having Hope. This is absolute part. This is a total hierarchy of the directory. Understand? So this is the information. So the capital R is going to give you the directory order recursively. Okay, and ls-s, it is going to give you the size. Okay, and you can use ls-sh, s means size and h means human readable. Okay, this combinations plays a major role here. So you should decide yourself what combinations you have to use to list the informations. But we are seeing it with individual things, but every time we have to use this combinations, right? So ls-s means size, h means human. Okay, ls-t, what it is going to do? So when I say ls, this is the information, and ls-t, it is going to give you the recent timestamp. That so when I talk about, for example, you see there is a file called ora2. Okay, so what I will do, I will just say cat greater than ora2. I'm just modifying it. Okay, I'm just putting some data. Control D. And when I say ls, you can see when I say ls-lt, you can see ora2 is being given first. Why? Because it got recently modified, because this timestamp has been changed. Understand? So T is going to give you the modified timestamp, the recent modified timestamp of a file or a directory. Understand? This is all about T. Okay, and you can also say ls hyphen there is an option called ls hyphen lz. So what is this Z? You know, it is something called Z is going to give you this SC Linux context for the files and directories, and this is something called SC Linux context for a file or directory. So if you want to see such a kind of security content for a file or directory, because you know that when we install Linux operating system, by default this SC Linux gets enabled. Understand? And you know, whenever you're creating a file or directory, basically all these files and directories and commands, everything will be under the control of SC Linux policies. Until unless the SC Linux security policies are not satisfied, and it will not allow the users to access these files or directories from the remote machines. Okay, so these are things. and ls hyphen hyphen version, it is going to give you the version of ls command, and ls hyphen hyphen help, it is going to give you help for the ls command. Okay, these are things how it is going to work. Is this clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
So this is all about the ls commands. Now what we are going to do, we are going to see some general commands. With the help of that, we are going to see the system information. Okay, so so let us see how these general commands are going to work. So basically, if you want to know which version or which release of operating system is installed on the machine, this file is going to give you the information whether which version and which release of operating system is installed. So right now you can see there is the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 version and 6 release is installed on the machine. Okay, and apart from this, you also have a command called uname-a. With the help of this, you can also know the information about the operating system. So the Linux is operating system, RHL VM1 is the host name, and this is a kernel release, and this is a kernel version when it got into the market, and this is the architecture of the processor. That is it. And GNU means generally not Unix / it is a Linux operating system. And if you want to list all this information, you can list -v stands for version, -r stands for release, -n stands for node name, that is called computer name, -m stands for machine architecture, -p stands for processor architecture. Okay, O is nothing but it is going to give you the operating system information. Or else if you want to see all these options at a single things, you can just say. Getting it? So right now we use this only -v kernel version, kernel release, L node name. Okay, yes, operating kernel name.
Instead of
Yeah, machine name, machine hardware name, processor name.
um, instead,
Okay,
instead of typing that help,
yeah,
can we do man uname?
yes, you can do.
It's
Yes, you can do. Man, you name. Yes, you can do. You can see this.
okay.
Here some text. I mean the this problem is there. So that's the reason. Until unless you will not highlight it, then it will not show you the information.
Okay.
See this? Yes, you can. For every command, you can use man page. There is no issue at all. Okay, but help is something like instance.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? So you can also use hem info. I think hem and info also will show you this. Okay, I think it. So read the information in documentation. You can see this. So you can also use man command. You can use info. You can use help. It will give you the same information. But help is nothing but it just gives the information it creates. But when you go to the man and info, you should be there in that same command to scroll down everything. Okay. So this is the way how it is going to come. So understood, right? This is the way. Now we have seen how to use this uname command. And apart from this uname, there are so many different commands that we are going to use to list that system information. For example, we want to list the users who are currently logged in the machine. Okay. So we are going to use a command called who. So who is going to give you the information, the currently logged in users information. Okay, then if I say who is going to give you the information, and you can see the Kumar is a user, he logged in from which machine? From this IP address he logged in. Okay, and if I talk about who hyphen R, it is going to give you the current run level. It is going to give you something called current run level. Okay, and if I say who hyphen B is nothing but it is going to give you system boot time. Who hyphen Q, it is going to give you the list of users name and total users. Okay, even if you want to list the information about the who, you can just put like this. These are all the options you can see. -B to last time the system boot time, A means all. Okay, so you can see who hyphen A. This is the thing. Okay, so this is the information here, and L is nothing but login, is the system login process, and R is run level, T means time. Okay, prints the last system clock change time. Okay, so this is hyphen U stands for users. This is all the information that it is going to give you. So basically, these are very small commands, but this plays a major role. Okay, when it plays a major role, when you are working in 3 different shifts and it's a very small project, you have 10 to 15 machines, and in every shift only one administrator works. When another administrator patch up the other administrator, okay, so we have to depend on this particular commands only to know how the server was working before 8 hours, before 6 hours, before 4 hours. Okay, whether it got rebooted or not, all this informations we can know from here. Okay, so who I can be, it is not giving you any information because we didn't change any system time, clock time. That's the reason. Okay, so this is all about who, and we also have a command called last. So last commands gives you the successful logins of the user. Okay, so these are all the users, they have been logged into the machine successfully. This is information it is going to give you, and you can use last reboot to know when the last time the server got rebooted. You can know last the username, so you can just find it out when the user is logged in, from when he logged out, from which IP address he logged in. All this information we can test. And apart from this, you can also know. So this is the way how it is going to work. Is this clear? Okay. So
Yeah,
this is the way how it is going to work. And apart from this last, we also have some more commands. Date is a command to list the date, and date is a command to change the date. But using, if you want to really change the date of your machine, okay, then you should be a root. Using normal user, you can't change the date of the machine. Okay, but in real time, we never change the date because there will be a server with the name called NTP server. It is called network time protocol. There will be one server configured because in data center you have 1,000 servers. Every server should have the common identical times. Okay, even you will not see even a 1 single second differences between this machines. Why? Because we are going to configure one server as a NTP server, and we will set the timings on that particular server, and we will try to sync the timings from that server to this 1,000 machines. Understand? Even you will not find even milli microsecond differences also when it comes to the times. Okay, so this is the way how it is going to work. Okay, so this is the information. Then we are going to see something about the cal. Cal stands for calendar. It is going to give you the current month calendar here. Okay, so apart from this, uh, we can also list -3 is nothing but 3 months calendar. That is called previous month, current month, and upcoming month calendar. It is going to give you. And if I say cal-y, it is going to give you total year calendar. Okay. And for example, if you want to go to a specific date and specific month and specific year, you can just put that month and 1950. 1950, I'm just saying. So this is the thing. If you want to go something called 2050, yes. So you can go to any calendar. The program is been set in such a way that you can go to any calendar. Okay. This is the information how it is going to work. Okay. So then afterwards we have a command called cal-j. It is nothing but Juliet calendar it is called. You know what is Juliet calendar? So this calendar works in a concept called 365 days format. That means right now January is having 31 days, and when it comes to February, it should say 1, 2, 3, 4. But when it comes to February, it will say 32, 33, 34, 35. That's 6 in 365 days format. It is going to calculate. This is the information. Okay, this is something called Juliet calendar. Okay, then apart from this, we have a command called uptime to see when the server got up and since how long it is on and how many users are available, what is the average load on the CPU, memory on disk, it is going to give you. Okay, and when I talk about ARC is nothing but it is going to give you the architecture of this machine. Okay, and there is a single word command also that is called W. It is going to give you the information here. So it is going to give you the uptime, it is going to give you the user information, it is going to give you the average load, all this information it is going to give you. Understand? So this is the information how it is going to work.
So one more
Okay.
doubt in here. What is this uptime?
Mm.
It says 23 18 44 up means is it up since?
That means at that particular time it has been up and it is running from last 45 minutes. Okay. So you have to see the date because in this it is the date is not properly set up. Can you see that?
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you are asking this. This is the current time when the command is run.
Okay, 23. Okay, okay,
I am running this up time this time. This
okay.
is the current time, and it is giving. This is up from this many
40.
minutes or this many hours.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the information about this uptime or architecture and this thing. And when I say ls, you see there is a file with the name called Aura file. Okay, you have some data inside this, right? Okay, now my requirement, what happened is mistakenly I have run touch Aura file. Now what happens?
Full
Basically
data will
what it does. Uh,
full
so we need to nullify this Aura file and all the data will be lost or it will be creating a empty file. What happens exactly?
because we got already this file. It's going to nullify.
Nullify it, very good. So let's see. So I have run this command, I have created. Now when I say ls, still the file is there, but when I say cat Aura file, so still the data is there, right? Can you see this? So
Yep.
exactly what happened here? Exactly what happened?
Nothing happened.
Then why when we run, it should happen, something should be happen, right?
Yeah, but if there is no such file, it's going to create an empty file. But over here,
Mhm.
there is already file, but nothing happened. Something means I will see the
So
difference.
they should do something, right? It should not be like that. So when I say ls-t, you see the timestamp is being changed. Nothing will happen to the file, to the data, but it changed the timestamp. You can see what our file is showing you on the first.
Yeah.
It gives a clear information that that file was recently modified.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you try to access the file only, it will not change. Even using like this also, you can change the timestamp.
Okay.
So this is the way. Mhm. And now, um, fine. Let me. Uh, yes. So when I say who am I, even this gives a detailed information about the user. And if you want to see a detailed information, you can just say who space and space I. It gives the username, IP address, the detailed information. Right? So this is the way how it is going to work. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that. So this is the information. Then apart from this, I just want to show you some compression commands. So when I am exiting, oh, I have exited from the user. So I'm just running ls-ls. There is a file with, what is the size of this file?
50K.
50K. Now I want to just show you how do we compress this file. I'm just talking about compression, not backup.
Okay.
You know what is backup? Backup means the source will be there and it will be having a backup. Okay, but here we are just compressing it. And we have two types of commands to compress a file. Okay, one is the compression will be done only at the file level, and the second command is it is going to do compression at the block level. At the block level. So what is the block level? When I start, this is the thing. How many blocks it is using?
112.
112 blocks. Okay, what is the size here? Size is, this is the size.
511.
Understand? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gzip followed by install. So now when I run this particular command ls-lh, you see the file which was 50K and it got been
12K.
yeah, and you see the file format here.
GZ.
And if you want to unzip, g unzip followed by install log g. This is the thing to unzip. So this is the way how do we block at the, how do we compress at the file level. Okay, now we are going to see how to compress at the block level. Okay, there is a command called bzip2 followed by install log. I'm just compressed it. So this is the thing. You see the ratio went almost below 25%. Okay, this is the thing. Now I will just say start. This is the information. Now you see the blocks is, it has been using
24.
24
What
blocks.
exactly
This
the block?
compression is done.
What exactly the
When
block?
you're putting, that's what, when you're creating a file system, the file system is divided into blocks. And each block size will be 4K. Understand? So when you keep on putting the data, that many blocks it is going to use to put the data.
Sorry, each block size will be how much?
4K, 4096 bytes.
Okay.
That is nothing but 4K.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that is the things. Now how do we unzip it? So b unzip to followed by install log b. This is this is the,
50.
so this is the way how do we compress it. Okay. So these are things, and apart from this, now we are going to discuss something about path. You know what is path? Path is nothing but address. Path is nothing but address or a location of a file or a directory. Understand? So when I say path is nothing but address or the location of a file or directory, basically we have two types of path. One is absolute path, another one is relative path. One is absolute path, another one is relative path. Okay. Now here the question is, what is the difference between absolute path and relative path? So absolute path is nothing but all the time when you do any kind of operation like copy, move, or any other thing, the path, I mean the source and destination path should start from the root. Okay. You may sitting anywhere, you may work any file or directory, but always the path for the source and destination should start from the root, which is something called a absolute path. Okay, so for example, you see here, I'm going to switch to the user here. When I switch to the user here, I'll just go to the Java 3, and when I say ls on Java 3, so when I say ls hyphen capital R, so ls hyphen capital R, Oracle, this is okay. So take an example. I will just go to this directory. So I will just say cd Oracle app Java Oracle Sun, okay, Sun Red Hat. This is the information. Okay, so in this location, I'm having a directory called home. Okay, and I want to copy this home to the root. So I want to use absolute path. So this is nothing but absolute path. Can you see this? This is something called absolute path. So I want to use copy hyphen R recursively. So I have to specify the absolute path that will start from the root. Okay. Home. So I want to copy this home to the home directory. Then I have to say slash home, comma. So I'm going to press an enter. Now when I just go to the home directory, when I say ls, do you see there is a directory with the name called home? This is it. So this is something called absolute path, but it's very difficult to remember the absolute path of the file or directory. Okay, getting it? So this absolute path is very rarely it is used in the administration when you are working with administration.
Why
So
did
all the time instead of absolute. Hmm?
if we type PWD, we will know the absolute path. So why it is so difficult?
That's right. See, in our busy schedule, we have lot of work. And what is the use of using this? What is the use of remembering all this path? Without absolute path, also we can do copy, paste, remove, or anything we can do.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Mm.
Okay. See, I can't remember whole path, right? Right now, I'm just having a user-friendly name. But when you go to the real time, the path will be very typical.
Okay.
So Java underscore root underscore sun underscore red hat slash home. Under slash home again, okay, there will be user with the name called Sam underscore home underscore some date will be there. Who will remember all these things?
Okay.
Yes or no? Right. Because right now you are using bash. That's the reason when you put a tab, it is going to give you the information. Linux is not a problem, but when you go to the Unix, you are not going to use bash. You are going to use, apart from bash, whatever the shells like Solaris, they are going to use Bourne shell. AIX, they are using Corn shell. Getting it? So
Yeah.
you will not find this kind of flexibilities there. Then it is a issue only, right, for administrator. Every command you have to run because right now we are using bash. You are going to put up arrow. You're going to see all these commands, right? Previous commands.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
But when you go to the Unix, you don't have this feature. You're running one command. There is no history for the command. 100 times if you run, you have to run 100 times that command. You can't get the command when you put a up arrow, down arrow. Understand? So this will be clear. Understood.
Yeah.
So this is the way how it is going to work. Huh? So now this is information. What we will do is we are going to see something about relative path. So relative path is nothing but the path which do not start from the root directory. Is known as relative path. That means wherever you are working, the current location from that the path will start. Okay, so this is the path. So you can use this path from where you're working. So right, for example, when I say PWD, you're working here. When I say ls, so I want to copy some data. So what I will do, I will just say copy hyphen r Oracle app and followed by Java. Inside Java Oracle and inside Oracle Sun Red Hat. I want to copy Red Hat into the current directory. I will just put what dot. What is dot? Dot is nothing but current directory. Or I will put a till. Till is nothing but home directory. Yes or no? So now when I say ls, you see there is a directory copied with the name called Red Hat. Okay. So this is the way how this relative path is going to work. And when you are working with the this copy or move or anything, we just we are going to majorly use the relative path only. Understood up to here.
Yeah. Even here also we have entered whole path now. A path of the file.
Why we have entered? No, we didn't enter the full path. Where you are working right now? In your home directory. Where is the home directory? Did we start from the root? No. We are working in the home directory called slash home slash kumar. From there only we started this path.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but previously it was from the
Home directory.
root. Okay, so these are the differences we have.
Okay.
Okay, so this is about today's session. You have to practice this. In tomorrow's session, we will be seeing the wildcard characters in FAP, and if possible, some other sessions.
Okay, can I share screen?
We want to share the screen 1 minute. You can stop recording now.
Uh,
So now you can share your screen.
let me just